Let's talk about photos a bit. Photos are hands down the most important part of your adoption profile. So let's spend some time digging into what makes a good photo for your adoption profile, what is not a good photo for your adoption profile, and everything in between. All right, well, let's talk about navigating Dropbox and specifically, let's talk about photos. So, in your Dropbox folder, I want you to navigate to your photos and let's talk through things a little bit. A really good place to start is with this folder that says photo tips, please read. And there's some really important tip sheets in here. One of them is how to upload photos from your phone. And this shows you the two different ways to upload photos from your phone. One of them, and of course, I should start by saying you do want to download the Dropbox app to your phone, and then you can log into your account and you can easily move photos right from your camera gallery into Dropbox. This is the very best way to upload photos to Dropbox because it maintains the original resolution of the photo, and that's really what we need for your profile. If all of your photos are stored in the cloud, this tip sheet will show you how to export photos correctly from the cloud. It's not always as intuitive as you think. So if you have photos in the cloud, give this a really quick read. There is a tip sheet about caption do's and don'ts and how to do captions for your photos. We also have a video about that. And then there's a general tip sheet about photos, around how many you need, samples of what to do and what not to do. So you can review this tip sheet if you have any questions. So once you've read those tip sheets, I want you to read some other tip sheets. And these tip sheets live within each photo category folder. Each category folder tells you how many photos I want in each folder. You can always upload more if you'd like, but that's kind of the minimum. In each folder, there is a tip sheet, and it has just some bullet points about what we want for this category of photo. This one is individual key photos. Candid and hobby, again, we've got a tip sheet about what these photos should be like. All of the folders have tip sheets in them, other than extended family, because that's a little self-explanatory. So take a minute and familiarize yourself with the tip sheets, read those, and then you're going to go through your camera gallery or your gallery on your phone and start uploading photos into the different folders. Once you've done that, send me an email. I'll review everything and give you feedback. I want to talk a little bit about what makes a good cover photo, hobby photos, and I'll show you some examples. In photos as a couple, let's go into cover, back cover, key photo options. There's a good tip sheet in here about cover and key photos because they're really important photos. So I've uploaded some photos. These are photos of me and my husband, ones I just had in my camera. And I'll start by saying none of these are good cover photos. They're really not. We are not adopting, so we haven't gone out and taken photos that would work for the cover. Here's a photo of us. This was actually our wedding anniversary, but it's a terrible cover photo. There's people in the background. We're sitting in a restaurant. It's dark. So that's a terrible cover photo. Here's another photo of us. It's a selfie. My arms are really distracting in the photo. And if we use this photo and if we blew it up to 8.5 by 11, uh, our faces would be huge. It's a, a bad option for a cover photo. I mean, a cute photo, but it's not a good cover photo. Here's a picture of us out to dinner. First of all, we have wine. Terrible cover photo. Sitting at a restaurant. Terrible. Here's a photo on a recent vacation, and it's a really nice photo. But when you zoom in, the details of our faces just aren't clear. And this makes it not a good cover photo. You see how grainy that is when you zoom in? That's pretty typical of photos that are taken at a distance, like this one was, pretty far away. We could use this elsewhere in the profile, but it's not a good cover photo. Here's some examples of cover photos, and these are client photos that have allowed me to use them as samples. And I'll just zoom through. This is a fantastic cover photo. Great smiles, really interesting background, unique. They're close to each other, they're showing affection. Great cover photo. Here's another one of a single mom. Really nice cover photo. Outdoors, she has a fantastic smile. She looks great. She looks happy. Great. Here's another nice one of a couple. Outdoor locations are always best. The lighting is always best outdoors. I love this one. It's nice and casual. She's wearing a t-shirt with some fun graphic, and she's actually French, so that works really well for her. Great cover photo, really shows her personality. This is another one. Of course, I'm a dog person, and I love when pets are included in the cover photo, but it really gives a sense of where they live, right? This is in Chicago. You can see the high rises in the back, so it's kind of an urban environment. Fantastic cover photo. Again, dogs in the cover photo, always fantastic, especially cute dogs like that. And I always say, show your style in cover photos. They have tattoos. Absolutely show those. That's really relatable with expectant parents. This is a really nice cover photo as well. They are not formally dressed, but it's casual, it's updated, they look great. It's a fantastic cover photo. I like cover photos in front of your front door. That can be a really welcoming visual for expectant parents to see you in front of the front door. It's kind of welcoming them in. Again, another great cover photo in a park. It's casual. They're showing affection. Her arm is around him. They're both equally represented in the photo. Even though she's sitting behind him, they are equally represented. So those are some examples of good cover photos. I'm going to go in and show you some examples of candid photos that are good. And again, these photos are from me. So I don't have a ton to choose from, but candid photos should really show you kind of doing a range of activities in a range of seasons, really showing the things that you like to do. So visually, expectant parents should be able to flip through your profile and say, oh, okay, I know what she's all about. I know what makes her tick. So for me, here's a photo I uploaded. It's a lovely photo. That's me in my office. But it really doesn't tell you anything. I'm just sitting in front of a green wall. I look okay, but it's not a good candid photo. These are good candid photos. This is my three-legged dog at the dog park, and he loves to hug. I love hiking with our dog with four legs who can hike. And in the summers, we hike to a nearby lake almost every weekend. This is me in the pandemic showing off my first homemade sourdough baguette. I was pretty excited about it. Here's another picture of me. I am a crazy plant lady, And as the caption is, my husband thinks I'm crazy because I take photos of my plants. I actually have an Instagram account just for my plants. I have an e-bike. Here I am with one of my good friends riding the e-bike down to the lake. This is also a good picture. It shows we live near the lake. It shows I like to be active. It shows that I have an e-bike. It's a good picture. I do have sunglasses on and it's taken at a distance. We want to minimize photos like that, but having a few is just fine. And here's another picture in my kitchen. I love cooking. I love my kitchen. This photo is nice because it shows some of the interior of my home. It shows some of my decorating style. Things are picked up, but not pristine. You want your home to look lived in photos. And of course, it shows my cute dogs. So looking through my candid photos, you probably get a sense of what I like. I like to bike. I like my dogs. I love to bake. I love
For extended
plants.
family,
And if you ask
we
my
don't
best
want a lot of
friends
big group
what makes
photos
Joanna
because
tick,
those can be
they're going to
really
tell you
overwhelming to
exactly
expectant
those things.
parents.
So
Kind of photos that
those are
show you
good
doing
candid
activities with
photos.
family are the best.
A lot of people like to include maybe a wedding photo with all of their families together, and that's fine. But mix them up with photos showing you doing activities. Um, and we want to include all seasons. You should caption them with what you're doing in the photo. Like this is a Beyonce trip with my sister-in-law and my niece. If you have babies in your life, snuggle them up. Make sure you caption the photo with who this child is to you. If you have diversity in your life, be sure to show that in your photos. I captioned it the aquarium with my nephews. That's actually my son and his best friend. Another picture with my son. Be sure to show affection in your family photos. And here's a family photo with my nephew at a wedding. And I'm sharing this as an example of what not to do. It's a great photo, but we're standing in front of a bar. So we're going to delete that because a lot of expectant parents have people in their lives that don't have good relationships with alcohol, or perhaps they've made choices that aren't healthy with alcohol, and they want to make sure that their child is raised in a really healthy environment. If you're at a table, a holiday table, and there's a glass of wine, that's fine. But standing in front of a huge bar, we're going to delete that photo. The other category is key photos. I actually didn't have any, so I didn't upload any. Um, but key photos, hopefully they're outdoors, season permitting. You always want to watch the background of your photos, make sure that there's not a lot of distractions in there. It should be waist up so we can see your eyes. No sunglasses in key photos, and we want 2 to 4. So I hope that helps you think about photos a little bit. As you write your text, be sure you're making note of the activities that you write about, your hobbies, your values, and you want to capture as many of those as you can in candid photos that are natural. You don't want to wear the same outfit in all your photos. Don't make it look like you did all the photos in a single day. Try to capture ones across different seasons. And for your individual key photos and your photos as a couple, if you are a couple, they should be almost all of them should be just you and or just you and your partner. Group photos should go in extended family. Remember, extended family also means your chosen family, your friends. So that's a pretty good overview. If you have any questions, just reach out because when I say I'm happy to help, I am really happy to help. I'd rather get on the